Fred and Mabel on the Costa, a play in 2 scenes by Tim Coakley, read by the Watermark Collective. Fred is about 60, a self-made businessman now retired. He is loud and opinionated, working class, northern, likeable. Mabel is Fred's wife. She's of similar age. She's down to earth and well able to stick up for herself. Scene 1. A bar on a Spanish costa. A sign over the bar says Bar Pedro. There must be a menu on the bar. Fred must be wearing a watch. Mabel should not be wearing a watch. A sign must say Bar Pedro. This play has been designed to be performed in a bar or restaurant, but could also be put on in a theatre. The announcer stands up from the table at the front of the audience. He takes centre stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have enjoyed the meal. We hope you have enjoyed the wine. We hope you have enjoyed the good company. But now we must present something that will make all of those things pale into insignificance. We present a brand new short play, Fred and Mabel on the Costa, written by Tim Coakley and featuring our very own Doug Devaney and Holly Joyce. Here is Fred and Mabel on the Costa.
Enter Fred and Mabel. They dance their way onto the stage, singing as they go. Fred is wearing a loud shirt, shorts, a watch, sandals and a funny hat. He may have a camera hanging round his neck. Mabel is in tow. Mabel is in beachwear and a towel. Both are in high spirits.
La 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 la. Here we are in sunny Spain. Que viva España. We've taken the Costa train. Que viva España. Torremolinos. Torremolinos. It was scorching on that beach.
We were all like a row of sardines frying in a pan.
Service.
Nobody appears.
Bloody Spanish. How do you say service in Spanish?
Haven't a clue, Fred.
God, it's baking. Why is it so hot in here, Mabel?
The mountains at the back reflect the heat.
Oh, there were some pretty impressive mountains on that beach. Those blondes had some amazing tits.
I suppose some of those Scandinavians were very well built.
I was only lying there, then, to be in the shade. We'll have to do the 5 S's down there one day.
What are the 5 S's?
Sun, sand, sea.
Oh, yeah. Which one haven't we done?
Sangria.
Oh, yeah.
Service! Servicios.
Nobody comes.
What time is it?
I'll soon tell you. Blimey. It stopped already. He told me it was a genuine Rolex.
Who did?
That African fella on the beach, I bought it off.
He must have seen you coming.
Rubbish. Well, it's nearly the end of our holiday. Our first holiday abroad in 35 years of marriage.
A happy marriage too, Fred.
Yes, indeed. 35 years since I plucked you from obscurity.
You plucked me from Essex, actually.
And you're still the same gorgeous girl. I'd do anything for you, Mabel. Anything. You know I would.
Then get me a drink, Fred.
Right. Service. Servicios. What do you have to do to get a drink in this bar? Get on your knees?
You never got on your knees when you proposed to me.
You can't get on your knees in the back of a Morris Minor. Everyone knows that.
You can if you're an Essex girl.
Fred picks a menu off the bar and tries to read it.
Let's have a look at the menu. No sausage and mash, Mabel. I can't see sausage and mash. You know that's my favourite. No egg and chips either. What's calamares?
Dunno. Must be some kind of food.
I remember. It's that funny stuff we had in the first week that tasted like boiled up rubber bands. And what's paella?
A kind of pie? No, it's not. It's that gooey rice thing that we ate in that restaurant in Ben Al Medina. You know, the stuff that made my mother so sick she had to go home.
And what's a roz?
No idea.
This is terrible.
You can't expect to be happy all the time.
You can when you're on holiday.
We should have gone to Blackpool.
Rubbish. We should have gone to Ibiza.
With all those teenagers.
Or Florida.
With all those muggins.
Or Majorca.
With all those lager louts.
Or Turkey.
With all those earthquakes.
Or Greece.
With all those Greeks.
You're right, we should have gone to Blackpool. Servicios! It's always manana with them.
Well, it's the last day of the holiday. It's had its good bits and its bad bits, hasn't it?
Oh, you can say that again. The best bit of the holiday was the wet T-shirt competition.
I only came third.
You were robbed, in my eyes, Pet. You were the best one there. Or should I say, the best two there. Mind you, the winner was pretty tasty.
Steady on, old chap.
The worst bit of the holiday was that magical mystery coach tour.
Oh, yes, when they had us marching around in crocodiles. I thought I was back at school.
Here, you can take photograph.
Here, you can buy a jolly good souvenir.
Here, you can make pee-pee.
The other tourist was horrible.
The Germans kept grabbing all the best seats.
The French were totally snobbish and didn't want to talk to anybody.
The Scots only wanted to talk about the times they beat us at football.
The Irish kept to themselves and kept talking about home.
And the Scandinavians were so blonde.
There weren't any Scandinavians.
No, I just made that bit up.
Steady on, old chap.
And then the magical mystery tour ended up in a bullfight.
I was cheering for the bull. Didn't seem fair.
Put me off my stake for a week.
I'm never going on a package tour again.
Package tour? It was more like pass the parcel. And we were the parcel. Do you remember being stuck for hours at Heathrow?
Yeah, and we got chatting to another couple and found they were paying 1/3 of the price for the same deal. Enough to put you off the holiday before it even got started.
We had turbulence over the Pyrenees.
No, that was you passing wind.
Oh, the airline food was terrible.
Mother threw up in the chicken surprise.
Well, it was a bit of a surprise for the couple sitting next to her.
We were the couple sitting next to her.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah.
As for El Hotel Ripoffo, I don't even want to talk about it.
No, I'd never go to that hotel again.
It turned out to be nothing like the brochure.
When you look out of your window, you will see a stretch of sand going on forever.
View over the building site.
There are tea-making facilities in every room.
But you have to buy 4 Spanish tea bags to make 1 decent cup of tea.
Our friendly staff will always be pleased to assist you.
If you can find them awake.
In the evenings, you'll be soothed by romantic Spanish music.
Which meant we found out our room was right on top of a disco. It went on till 6 o'clock in the morning. You had to groove along to the beat in the end.
That's when life got interesting.
Yes, I remember. Tarzan.
And why was that man screeching in the hotel bar?
It's called flamenco.
Isn't there a cure for that? It sounds really painful, poor chap.
Still, we have had some great times here. Do you remember that romantic moonlight stroll? When you said to me,
I never. What terrible language.
and then we had a mad impulse and went skinny dipping in the sea at midnight.
And those gypsies stole our clothes off the beach.
And we had to report it to the police station at 1 in the morning without a stitch on.
Yeah, that's going to be one to tell the grandchildren.
And that bar in Torremolinos where we danced on the table with the old bar clapping hands.
Vino, vino, vino collapso.
Vino, vino,
Vino collapso. Vino, vino, vino collapso.
They can dance around a bit here with their arms in the air.
But it was the table what collapsed and we fell on the floor.
You ought to lose some weight, Mabel.
Oh, look who's talking.
And that waiter tried to pick you up.
In more senses than one.
Anything I can do to help you, senorita.
Mind you, he was gorgeous. I wouldn't have said no.
And we had that day out of the Mijas races.
I lost my shirt.
No, that were afterwards.
We met some nice people here.
We've met some smashing people.
And the weather's been fantastic.
Seriously, though, we've come a long way from Sheffield, though, haven't we, Pet? In more senses than one. Who would have thought that one day people like us would be flying through the sky in aeroplanes to other countries just for holidays? And who would have thought that I, little Fred, that tiny boy with the smudgy face running around the shields of Sheffield, would one day become a successful businessman? Fred's Bakery. I built it up myself from nought.
I came from nothing.
I came from nothing.
I had no shoes.
I had no shoes. Couldn't afford shoes. Never had shop cake. Didn't eat chicken till I was a teenager. And of course, there were no TV, only steam radio.
But by gum.
But by gum, they were happy days.
We made our own
We
fun.
made our own fun, singing round the piano in the pub of an evening.
Became a man.
Became a man. Worked hard, pulled myself up by my own bootstrings, built up the business, struggled on my own, fought my corner. Did you say something, Pet?
I said you did well.
Yes, I did well. In the end, sold the business for a good price. No need to worry about our old age now. No.
Fred returns to his place next to Mabel.
Well, it's back to Sheffield tomorrow. Joking apart, on the whole, it has been a great holiday, hasn't it, Pet?
Could have been worse.
It's nice down here, really. I've really enjoyed it.
Don't you envy the people who live here all year? They must have a whale of a time.
The weather in the UK now is terrible. It's pouring down there. Wish I weren't going back tomorrow.
Why don't we just stay here?
What?
Why don't we just stay? Let's give it a go. Do you really want to go back to the cold and the rain? You haven't got a job anymore, and the kids are grown up. Jason has his own business, and Mavis is married.
Our babies don't need us anymore.
And they can easily pop over and see us whenever they want. Life here could be great. We could make new friends. We could live in the sun all year.
It might not be such a bad idea. We'd have to look into it, of course. My Aunt Mary's next door neighbour moved to Spain and made a fortune.
Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. Let's throw caution to the wind.
Just for once.
They are seized by the moment. They are obviously making up this song as they go along. They could be dancing around at the same time.
We're staying on in sunny Spain. Que viva España. We're escaping Great Britain and the rain. Que viva España. Never mind the cost. We're escaping from the frost.
Never mind the dough. We're escaping from the snow.
Never mind the lamp. We're escaping from the damp.
Never mind the lamp.
It was all I could think of.
They stare at each other.
Come on, let's go and cancel those air tickets.
Excellent, Fred and Mabel. Interval. During the interval, Fred and Mabel changed costume. They donned t-shirts and trouser skirts. Fred must have a mobile phone in his pocket. Union Jacks, etc. appear behind the bar. The name of the bar changes from Bar Pedro to Fred's Bar. During the interval, the announcer stands up from the front of the audience. The announcer takes centre stage. He applauds. He addresses the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a short interval. During the interval, I am here to lead you all in community singing. I didn't really want to do this, but they told me that if I didn't, they'd never speak to me again. I hope you will join in, otherwise I'm going to feel lonely out here on my own. You've got the words on your sheets, so do join in. We're all going on a Spanish holiday. No more working for a week or two. Fun and laughter on our Spanish holiday. No more worries for me and you. For a week or two. We're going where the sun shines brightly. We're going where the sea is blue. We've seen it in the movies. Let's see if it's true. Everybody needs a Spanish holiday, doing things they always wanted to. So we're going on a Spanish holiday to make our dreams come true. For me and you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sing a song which has repeatedly been voted the worst song of all time. It was a hit in 1984 for Black Lace, since when it has been shamefully neglected. The only place it has remained popular is here on the Spanish Costa. Hooray! So do join me as we sing that wonderful classic, Agadoo. It goes something like this. Agadoo, do, do, push pineapple, shake the tree. Agadoo, do, do, push pineapple, grind coffee to the left. To the right, jump up and down and to the knees. Come and dance every night, sing with hula melody. Now it's your turn, everyone, here we go. Agadoo, do, do, push pineapple, shake the tree. Agadoo, do, do, push pineapple, grind coffee. To the left, to the right, jump up and down and to the knees. Come and dance every night, sing with hula melody. Louder! Agadoo, do, do, push pineapple, shake the tree. Agadoo, do, do, push pineapple, grind coffee. To the left, to the right, jump up and down and to the knees. Hey, come and dance every night, sing with hula melody. Thank you, thank you. And now, on to part 2.
Scene 2. The same bar 6 months later. The bar is now covered with Union Jacks, pictures of English football teams, etc., and the sign now reads, Fred's Bar. Fred is behind the bar, leaning on it. He's wearing a hat and t-shirt inscribed Fred's Bar. Mabel is standing to one side of the bar. She's similarly attired. Both are staring forward into space with folded arms.
Satellite TV's on the blink again. We should never have bought that previously owned digibox.
Previously nicked, more like.
I wonder what happened in the football. I bet England lost.
No sign of any customers.
Pedro did say it was a seasonal trade.
Yeah, but we've owned this bar for 6 months now and it's never been in season yet.
Pedro said, in the summer you get the tourists,
But they stay on the beach.
and in the winter you get the expats.
But they all stick to Jerry's bar round the corner, where they've always gone. All 3 of them.
We tried everything, haven't we? We tried having a happy hour.
But nobody came, so we had to get happy on our own.
We tried karaoke.
But when you tried it out by singing Danny Boy into it, the machine blew a fuse and never got going again.
We tried free pizza.
But the local gypsies invaded the bar and scoffed the lot.
We tried a pub quiz.
But there was such a punch-up about what is the capital of Lithuania, we had to call the police.
By the way, what is the capital of Lithuania?
Oh, don't start that again.
Finally, in desperation, we tried striptease.
But the stripper sent by the agency was really scrawny.
Yes, instead of shouting, get 'em off, they shouted, keep 'em on, keep 'em on.
Still, we did have a good night last week.
What was that?
St Patrick's night.
Oh, yes, St Patrick's. We had quite a few people in the bar, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a Czech, a Croat, a German, a Russian and 2 Japanese.
Yes, and they all sang Take Me Back to Ireland.
Until 2 a.m.
We must have made a few quid.
We made €24.
Whoopee! Why did they all bugger up so early?
It was you singing Danny Boy that could have had something to do with it.
What's it like outside?
Raining again. Is that your phone?
Hello? No habla España. Sorry, mate. Buenos morning, amigo. Very bien. Adios. Hola.
Who was that?
Haven't a clue.
What did they want?
Haven't a clue. Do you know how to make a small fortune here?
Tell me again.
Start with a large fortune.
What should we do tonight?
Oh, we've been everywhere, haven't we? There's nothing to do. We've done it all, seen it all, done it all, got the t-shirt.
Dead quiet here, isn't it?
A few of our customers would liven up the bar a bit.
What a bunch.
Pissheads,
No opers.
criminals on the run,
Wheelers.
and dealers,
Tax dodgers.
estate agents.
And those are the interesting ones.
People come out here with a story.
And they expect you to believe it.
The ones who are rich never admit to being rich.
And the ones who have no money stand in our bar pretending to be loaded.
It's supposed to be full of film stars down here.
We never see 'em.
I wouldn't mind rubbing shoulders with Antonio Banderas.
I wouldn't mind rubbing anything with Antonio Banderas.
Steady on, old girl.
Give me a nice romantic Spanish man any day.
We hardly see anybody.
We've seen Mother,
Well, she said she'd come for a week. She stayed 2 months.
and she expected to be waited on day and night. We thought we'd never see the back of her.
But life here does have its compensations. Sitting on a sun lounger, sipping champagne.
Drinking the profits.
And I've taken up golf.
Golf? Is that what we call it? You keep missing the hole.
I get it in sometimes.
Yeah, you get the golf ball in sometimes as well.
Yeah.
You and golf is you paying a great fortune to flounder around the course for ages, and then it's you paying a great fortune to buy a drink in the clubhouse, where all they talk about is the size of their
Steady on, old girl.
cars.
Know what they said to me the first time I went to the golf club?
No.
What did you used to be? I ask you, what did you used to be? I used to have a life. Now I play golf. And when I'm not playing golf, I play bridge. And by the way, how many points do you need to bid one no trump?
I don't know.
No, nor does anybody in my bridge club. They nearly came to blows about it last week. And 2 couples getting divorced.
But the Spanish people are friendly.
Yes, the Spanish people are friendly, but let's face it, they live off us. Without us, they'd be living in mud huts and catching fish for their supper.
Nah, that's those pygmies you saw on TV.
But look at them today. A booming tourist industry, a growing economy, €50 notes all over the place, zooming around in big cars. The country's come on a lot, and it's all down to people like me.
I think it's all down to their own efforts. You and your bar have little to do with it.
They made a lot of progress. In a recent poll, they voted that the 5th most popular Spaniard today is David Beckham.
That's progress.
And then there's that Mediterranean diet. It's so healthy.
All that salad.
And that fish.
And that olive oil.
But you miss chip butties with HP sauce.
And shepherd's pie.
And roast beef and Yorkshire pud.
And fish and chips with mushy peas.
And pork scratchings.
Oh, don't.
Don't you miss people you can really talk to?
It's the family I really miss. Our babies don't need us anymore, Hugh said. They can easily pop over and see us whenever they want, you said. But we might as well move to the moon. We hardly see 'em anymore. There is email, of course, but it's not the same.
No, it's not the same. Where's old Tom? He's disappeared. Probably gone back home.
He never even said goodbye.
He was my best friend. Here, anyway. I've still got a social life, though. I've got Bert and Harry.
You'd never have bothered with them in the UK.
Rubbish. There are loads of possibilities. There's Puerto Banus.
Yeah, where you can make lots of friends. Just turn up in a yacht, wear designer sunglasses and bring your own Ferrari.
What about doing a course?
Yeah, the local U3A lay on loads of courses.
Yes, there's artefacts of ancient Assyria.
Turkish church music of the 19th century.
Babylonian for beginners.
And, for the more athletically inclined, over 80s nude leapfrog.
And what about our local expatriate association?
All they seem to do is talk about each other.
And what about our neighbours, the Fauntleroys?
Oh, yes, the Fauntleroys. Oh, pass the jolly old Sunday Times, Nigel. We're so into Spanish culture, it's not true.
We went to a Picasso museum and absolutely adored it.
Tonight we're cooking paella.
Annabelle's been taking flamenco lessons.
And Tarquin's dancing Sevillanas.
Of course, it's the children that do best down here.
Yes, they quickly adapt to the culture and the language.
And already little Rupert's practically fluent in Spanish.
Patate madre concha jote.
Ah, isn't he cute?
No, we've not got much in common with the Fauntleroys.
And what about the ladies in our urbanisation? They don't seem bad sorts. You could make friends with some of them, couldn't you?
The superficial club, I call them. All they do is paint their nails and pamper themselves in health clubs and gossip. Isn't the gossip terrible here? It's totally out of control. I would never talk about people behind their backs the way that lot do. By the way, have you heard about Mrs...
Never. Well, I'm blowed. Who would have thought it?
Our urbanisation, isn't it ugly?
It looks like the back streets of Sheffield painted orange. The slums of tomorrow. The overpriced rabbit hutches of today. What made us buy a flat there in the first place?
It was that smarmy estate agent.
This one is really you, madam. A charming Bijou residence.
Not enough room to swing a cat.
The peace, the tranquility.
In the middle of nowhere.
With development potential.
Falling to bits.
The area is lively.
Noisy neighbours.
Must be viewed.
We are desperate to sell it.
As you know, prices here are going up. In fact, they're going through the roof.
Where they will meet the rain coming down through the holes in the roof.
As you know, millions of Brits will be moving down here in the next few years.
They see it on TV and they think they know all about it.
And this is the BBC, bringing you a documentary on the Costa. Why are so many Brits moving down here? We interviewed a typical Costa housewife. Why did you move down here, Mrs. Mabel?
He holds his imaginary microphone to Mabel.
I have totally forgotten.
Yes, life can be tough down here. It can be a challenge.
And of course, people take to drink.
Not in our bar, they don't. I wish they would.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
While Fred and Mabel sit staring at the floor, heads bowed and looking downhearted, the announcer steps out of the audience and takes centre stage. He sings. The tune resembles Sisters by the Beverley Sisters.
Whingers, whingers, never had such a load of whingers. They come down here to escape the rain, but all they do is sit and complain. They won't find a better country than Spain. There is no better country than Spain. Drifters, drifters, never seen such a pair of drifters. Moaning all day about the daily grind, dreaming all night of what they left behind. Maybe it's time to make up their mind. Maybe they should make up their mind. England, England, all they ever talk about is England. That dreadful country with sleet and snow. If their life here is a tale of woe, why don't they just up sticks and go? If they don't like it here, why don't they just go? Mabel?
Yes?
Mabel?
Yes, Fred?
Mabel, do you know what I'm thinking?
I always know what you're thinking.
I know it's wet in England,
Yes?
and I know it can be cold,
Yes?
but there's more to life than just weather.
Yes?
And we do speak the language,
Yes?
and our family and friends are there.
Yes?
And we do feel more at ease there.
Yes.
So why don't we go back?
Okay,
Let's just do it.
let's do it.
Deal or no deal?
Deal.
We'll sell the bar back to Pedro. We'll make him an offer he can't refuse.
Half price. He'll take half price.
Then, in the twinkle of an eye, we'll be out of here. We'll be gone.
There'll be no stopping us.
On the wings of eagles.
On the wings of EasyJet, more like.
I'll be down my local pub on the corner like a shot.
That lot, they'll hardly know you've been away.
I'll go and watch Sheffield United play over Saturday again.
We'll have the grandchildren round for tea, just like in the old days.
I'll have a go at the garden. It must be overgrown.
And I'll go shopping with Mavis again.
Of course, we can always come back on holiday.
Yes, we can always come back on holiday. So it's bye-bye España.
And hello again, England. It's a long way back to England. It's a long way to go. It's a long way back to England and the bleeding rain and snow. Farewell, Fuengirola. Goodbye, Golden Mile. And it's Tarara, Torremolinos. How we going in style. And it's goodbye, Guadalina. And it's adios, Arreo. And it's bye, 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 Banalonina. It's really time to go. Bye, bye to Mabel. Hasta luego, Spain. Now we've seen it, done it, got the t-shirt. We won't come again. Goodbye, everybody.
everybody.
See you in England. Bye, everybody.
Curtain.